You're listening to BQN. Assimilate the audio.
Welcome to Cinema Z, a film discussion and review podcast on BQN. We're here to showcase the films you probably missed out on, but should definitely check out, from independent and obscure to art house and absurd. Each episode will gather perhaps a cocktail in hand to discuss it all. I'm your host, Matt Jennings, and with me today are Lars Marquez and Mark White.
Oh, wow, that was very sultry.
Thank you.
Very ASMR. I'm going to crinkle a water bottle over here.
Yeah.
For our listeners.
Yes. So, hello. How is everyone doing today? Laz, Mark?
I'm great. Thank you for asking. I'm excited to talk about our next film. In case anybody's wondering, my name is Lars Marquez, and I work in the entertainment industry as an illustrator and designer. So it's always exciting to get with these two boys and talk about film and our love for it.
Oh, you sweet talker. I bet you say that to all the girls.
Yes, I do. I just wish I had your sultry voice.
Oh, yeah, we both do. That voice, it's so masculine, so rich.
So mask. It's so mask for mask.
It's mask for mask.
If I tried that, I'd sound like an SNL character. I'd be like, "Hey guys,
Hey guys,
how's it going?"
everybody thinks I'm straight.
Mark, how are you?
I'm great. I am drinking actually my favorite drink this week. And I used to live in South Florida for a while. And I fell in love with a rum punch. And I only thought it would be appropriate to bring it back because, we're talking a little Cabo San Lucas, a little Los Angeles this week. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to bring in the tropics with my rum punch.
That looks delicious. I'm looking at it right now. People all over the BQN listening world, and it looks delicious.
Oh, wait, look at the front of my cup here.
Oh my.
I love it. It says
and he's also
something
got
inside.
Oh, what does it say?
I don't know. I have to drink it first, and I'll tell you.
Oh. And he's also got a metallic straw, so it's official, everyone. Mm-hmm. It's official.
It's environmentally conscious. So
right.
Great stuff there.
We respect that.
And Matt, what are you drinking tonight?
Oh, I am so classy. I purchased myself a very expensive Mike's Harder cranberry.
Ooh.
It was $3.29. Cost me quite a pretty penny.
What makes it harder?
That's for OnlyFans.
Oh. He folds laundry, by the way. That is his OnlyFans.
It is. Really, I need the money, guys. Times are hard. Moving on, I would like to just reference some of the feedback that we've had from our last podcast.
So we're super excited to have our executive producer, Amy Nelson, provide our first piece of feedback this week. It was very kind of her, and we really appreciate it. She says, I highly recommend listening to this pod either before or after watching this movie. You can thank me later with a winky face. Because we all love emojis.
Thanks, you, Amy. And this is from Mel Larson. Hey, party people. I just listened to the maiden voyage of Cinema Z. So fun to get into something just as it takes off. If you love smarter movies, in-budget scope, audience, and or obtuseness, this is the podcast for you. These are smart and funny people. Check it out. Thank you, Mel.
We love Mel. She's great. I follow her on Twitter now, and she's so hilarious, and she has some really thought-provoking posts, and she loves movies, and we love movies. So anyway, we love Mel. She's great. We also have another piece of feedback, and this is from, it looks like Zaki Hassan, who wanted to recommend a film to us. So his recommendation was the movie The Count of Monte Cristo, which,
that's
yeah, I remember seeing it when I was younger, and I really enjoyed it. Haven't seen it in a while, so that might be a good one to put on the list.
the last time I saw the original was I was probably 11, and I felt away when I saw that movie. I was so mad. I was so mad. It was visceral.
Oh, wow.
I remember the reaction. Oh yeah. Oh my God.
Oh,
I was
then we
ready to
definitely
riot
gotta
in
put
the
it on
streets.
list.
I think so.
I
Thank
think
you.
we should cover it just so that I can hear you be mad.
Oh, all the rage. I was rageful as a rageful 11-year-old. And then I listened to Judah Garland, and I was okay.
Muffins and cakes!
Muffins and cakes! Moving on, we're going to introduce the film. And the film that we're discussing today is Jackie Brown. When flight attendant Jackie Brown, played by Pam Grier, is busted smuggling money for her arms dealer boss, Ordell Robbie, played by Samuel L. Jackson, Agent Ray Nicolette, played by Michael Keaton, and Detective Mark Dargis, played by Michael Bowen, want to help her to bring down Robbie. Facing jail time for her silence or death for her cooperation, Brown decides instead to double-cross both parties and make off with the smuggled money. Meanwhile, she enlists the help of bondsman Max Cherry, played by Robert Forster, a man who loves her. He fell in love with that chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
I picked this film because I think, for one, I saw this movie. Oh my God, I saw this movie playing randomly in my parents' house. And then I remember watching it in the green room on campus in college in my theater building. And I remember we always had VHS tapes and DVDs just there to watch during our breaks in between classes. And for whatever reason, that one would always be on. I remember people would always be watching Jackie Brown. So I saw it in bits and pieces from I don't know, maybe 7 years old to
Wow.
20. Yeah. It was a long watch. It was a long watch. So I watched this movie over 10 years, but I never really caught it in its entirety, and I've always been meaning to rewatch it. So I was super happy to revisit this.
Oh, so was this your first completed watch?
I think so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, moving on, guys. Initial thoughts, feelings.
Yeah, so I'll jump in. I'm not a huge Tarantino fan. I never have been. I know I've said this about Kubrick in the past, so whatever. But I find him a little bit self-congratulatory as a filmmaker and a
Masturbatory.
little, but I think he often has, as a filmmaker, really taken on films that he references or almost recreates elements of. So I don't find a lot of richness within his filmmaking personally. I think it's a lot of recreations of things. But with that being said, I will say that this film, I think within his catalog, is probably one of the more structurally sound films that I've watched of his. It doesn't feel Tarantino-esque within the dialogue. It feels a little bit more raw and interesting. The structure works, in terms of what we know of film, and he likes to play around and do his own thing typically, but with this film, there's a little bit more of a tenderness involved, including the romance between Jackie and the bondsman. So there's something different about this film. And I feel like after this film, because this was a bit of a risk after his first two films, so
Mm.
Reservoir Dogs and then Pulp Fiction, which were very much him. This one kind of went a little bit more, not to say mainstream, but it felt a little bit more, again, structurally sound.
Yeah.
Then he went back to his usual stuff after this because it wasn't successful.
Actually, that makes me think of something in regards to what you just mentioned, Laz, about the relationship between Pam Grier's character and oh my God, what's his name? Max?
Hmm.
Mhm.
Um, so at the end of the movie, she says, I wasn't using you. I I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that there was a little bit of her kind of playing the game a little bit?
Maybe at the beginning. Like, I
Yeah.
think at the very beginning, she had this thought that maybe she could use him, but I
Yeah.
think quickly, very quickly, maybe even like the breakfast scenario I'll bring up later,
Yeah.
she was like, "Oh no, this is a cool cat. I can jive with him." Anyway,
I
Laz?
agree. I think what's nice about this is it doesn't like play by numbers. It doesn't force you to kind of choose either way, but I kind of
Yeah.
side with Mark on this one that I think it was a progression as we see them interact.
Okay.
Well, I want to bring up what brought me to the film initially. I want to agree with Laz here. Now, I think I've seen all of Tarantino's films. I was dating women in college, and my one of my girlfriends was an artist, and she had a really dark. She liked dark, like horror films and whatnot. And I think
Hmm.
Laz would be her best friend. And she was just an amazing, beautiful soul. And for I don't know, maybe it was my birthday or something, and she had bought me Reservoir Dogs, and I think that was the first one. And holy, gore central and violent and all of these things. And I'm like, interesting. But I did after that check out his other projects, Pulp Fiction and whatnot,
Yeah.
and I started to recognize more of the artistry in it.
Hmm.
Now, typically, I'm so not into shoot 'em up kind of movies or movies where people's fingers get cut off or anything. These just aren't these aren't the movies
Yeah.
that I watch. But I have to appreciate any filmmaker that when you see like a screenshot of a film, you're like, oh, it's made by that guy.
Right. Yeah.
That guy did it because they have an
Yeah.
artistic vision and they're creative in that way, and I can recognize the artistry in what he does for that. And I had heard him do an interview a while back, and he was talking about how Jackie Brown was his favorite thing he's ever done. His absolute
Mm.
crown jewel of that he has created was Jackie Brown, and I was like, what? Why have I never seen this film? And then I started looking into it and found out that it was like based on a book and it wasn't something that he wrote, and it was the only one like that.
Hmm.
It was the least violent of any of his other films. I was like, okay, I'm liking this direction, and so
Yeah.
a few years ago I checked it out, and man, I just was blown away because I could fangirl so much about this movie. I love movies that surprise me.
Hmm. Hmm.
And this goes left and then right and then up and then down, and characters are behaving this way, but you think they're going to behave that way, and you
Yeah.
think this is going to happen, and then it goes that way. And I'm like, oh, it's so not predictable. It's so different, and it causes me to think a little bit. And I was not expecting that from a Quentin Tarantino movie. So anyway, I fell in love, and well, that damn opening, I fell in love since the opening and that music and the soundtrack, and we could go on, and I'm sure we will later. But all of the
I,
things,
I will say,
everywhere,
kind
all
of
at
jumping
once.
on, I'll say jumping off of what you're saying, Mark, is that there's something, and this is also me speaking as an artist, but I think sometimes when a creative force is kind of backed into a corner a little bit, whether it be the fact that they haven't fully written and directed and casted and
Hmm.
been so involved, when they have to like honor something a little bit, it
Mm.
forces them to step outside their comfort zones. It
Mm.
forces them to do something that sometimes is really magical.
Oh my God,
Mm.
absolutely. Absolutely. What is that quote? What is it? In times of adversity, the artist triumphs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so true. I
I,
totally
I
agree.
think I think often about, someone like Ridley Scott. It's like when he created Alien, it was super low budget.
Hmm.
He was forced into a corner. He hadn't written it. He wasn't super involved. But then fast forward and you see kind of like his current Alien films, quote unquote,
Yeah.
and they just don't match up.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Well,
sometimes when you have too much of your voice into it, like it becomes less about the viewers and more about the creator. So you
Mm.
lose that like, kind of connective tissue.
when I went to school, I ended up taking some classes in graphic design, and I worked part time at a graphic design center, and we did graphic design for nonprofits up in northern Maine. So United Way, Eastern Maine AIDS Network, and things like that. And it was like almost like a think tank because there was all of these creatives in one room, and we all had to pitch our ideas, and our boss would pick what he thought was the best one each week, and then we'd move on to the next project. And we all had to present, like, I think it was like at least 3 different concepts. And it was funny because I would have this concept, clear vision of what this was going to be, and this was going to be the one. And then I had kind of a plan B if that didn't work. And then like a plan C kind of I would come up with in the last hour just to put something together. An infuriating amount of times they picked my C project. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Oh.
Because it was in the final hours
Yeah.
when I
yeah.
was forced because of the time constraints
Mhm.
to come up with something. It forced me to use different tools that I normally wouldn't use and go in directions I normally wouldn't go. And all of a sudden, like, the artwork that came out, supposedly, was better.
Similarly for me, working in advertising for nearly 18 years and then doing illustration work and posters for film and TV, a lot of that happens as well. It's like don't get too close to what your vision is because it may not be what other people gravitate towards. So
Right.
oftentimes, like I'll fall in love with my first idea and like it's my baby. And that baby is always, I hate to say the wording, but it's always killed in terms of the conceptual
Yeah.
Yeah.
option.
Yeah.
It's because, sometimes one perspective isn't enough. You need that collaboration to really reach
Yeah.
others.
It's absolutely true. I mean, it's the same thing in directing as well. When you're directing actors, you worked on a project and you're seeing it filmed. Something that I remember being told in acting class from the directing side is if a director does a line read for you and tells you how to read a line, that's not a good thing to do because the actor 9 times out of 10 can give you a different and maybe even better version of what
Mhm.
you thought it was going to sound like.
Hmm.
So always allow that freedom for the actor to go with their impulse first before you try to direct the performance. And on that note, we're going to go to the director's cut segment.
And now we're pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
We're going to discuss some of our favorite scenes, and we're going to do a little bit of a table read, if you will, of those scenes.
Unrehearsed.
Unrehearsed. We haven't had any time to do a real rehearsal of this. We're freeballing. I don't know if
I've been
that's-
rehearsing for days.
Well, some actors are better prepared than others.
Evidently, Laz has this one. He's going to be the best Jackie Brown. So
Forgive me, folks.
first up on the docket here, it looks like it's my scene. And when I was watching this film recently, like for the podcast, I was trying to think about, because I know we do this segment and we talk about some of our favorite scenes. And so I was watching it sort of with that mindset of like, oh, which ones am I going to pick? And this was pretty early on. But when this same scene came up, I was like, nope, that's the one. Because it talked to me and I could relate to it. And it's the the sort of morning after Jackie gets arrested, and she's finally back at her apartment. She has a nice shower or whatever, and it's like the next morning, and she's meeting up with Max, and they're just talking about life over a cup of coffee. Anyway, yeah, it's that sort of morning after scene in the kitchen. And so Laz has graciously volunteered to be Miss Jackie Brown, and I am going to be Max Cherry.
Action.
Max, how do you feel about getting old?
You're not old. You look great.
No, I'm asking how do you feel about getting old? Doesn't it bother you?
It's not really something I think about.
Really?
Oh, I guess I got sensitive about my hair a few years ago. It started falling out, so I did something about it.
How'd you feel about that?
I'm fine with that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it. I did it to feel better about myself, and you know, I do. I look in the mirror, and it looks like me.
Yeah, but it's different for men.
You know, I really can't feel sorry for you in this department. I bet that except for possibly an afro, you look exactly the way you did at 29.
Well, my ass ain't the same.
Bigger?
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Cut.
Thank you, actors. Thank you.
You did good, Laz. See, Laz always does this. He's always like, no, I'm not the actor here. And then he pulls this out of his pocket. It's like, we're no longer buying it, Laz. You're definitely a part-time actor on the side.
Like I'm
Yes,
not a
of course.
Hollywood starlet.
Oh, yes. I'm certainly the next Florence Pugh.
All right, and so the next scene is I'm assuming that everyone knows this scene. It's the scene with the infamous "Is that a gun pressed against my dick?" scene. I love this scene for so many reasons. I mean, there's comedy in it, but also being this being the first time that I've really seen the movie all the way through, I fell for it and I thought, oh, he's got the jump on her. He's going to kill her. I mean, the lights being turned on and off. Obviously, he's up to no good. You know, Jackie, I think she does a great job of luring Ordell in this moment. I think she's playing that stereotype of the stereotypical woman that's going to be in trouble, that's not capable of defending herself and take all those things. And then there's a twist in this scene, and you can clearly tell that this character has been through some stuff. And I love seeing the history of that character and the backstory of that character played out in this scene. I think it's a great twist. And on that note, I will be playing Jackie Brown, and Mark will be playing Ordell.
Okay, great. I think we talked about it, but I already forgot.
We did.
Come
I was
on, you
there.
could be Samuel L. Jackson.
Action.
They asked.
And you said?
I want to talk to my lawyer. You ain't asking the right questions. You should be asking me why they picked me up. They were waiting for me, knew about the money, and knew the exact amount.
They tell you how you happened to come upon this information?
Beaumont Livingston.
My name come up? You ain't said nothing about me. This mighty noble of you. You scared me. You got any reason to be nervous around me? Is that what I think it is?
What do you think it is?
I think it's a gun pressed up against my dick.
Well, you thought right. Now take your hands from around my throat, nigga.
Cut.
Beautiful.
Thank you for indulging us, people of Earth. Thank you.
In case anybody's wondering what's happening over here,
Yes.
everyone's cracking up.
My
Everyone's
face is
losing
cherry
it.
red.
Yes. Mark is cherry red right now, and it's adorable. It's great.
I love it. That is so much fun. I didn't realize Ordell had two lines right in a row, so I kept waiting for you to say something.
No, that was my fault. I didn't separate it.
Oops. Oh well, that's why it's a director's cut, because it's
Yes.
it's the stuff on the cutting room floor. Love it.
Yes. So moving on now. In terms of rewrites, what do you think? Is there anything that you would change? Anything that you want to be different, and why?
I will jump in. I think outside of Pam Grier as Jackie Brown, I feel that, and this goes back to my reservations and criticism of Tarantino, in that I find that he mishandles female characters pretty often.
Mm.
They're either, even in this film specifically, they're outside of Jackie Brown. They're either on view for a man's pleasure, they're vapid, or they're kind of portrayed as ignorant, or even just a side character.
Mm.
So, like, a lot of people might be like, oh, well, he did kill Bill. Like, like, it's all about the female characters. I still think that he doesn't understand the female voice, nor does he really put in the work to make those female characters be as well realized as I think he's putting into the work of creating his male characters, let's say.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm trying to use my words correctly here.
Yeah. I can definitely understand what you're talking about. There was that blonde surfer chick, and then the special needs. I don't even think she was special needs. She was just cracked out. I guess she had like a cracked out lady. The
Yeah.
only other woman besides Jackie Brown that I think was treated with a little bit of dignity was that one that was singing the Delphonics, right, at the beginning. She was kind of cool. And then she ended up being one of the ones that got away with the money. So she was intelligent too, and she took the money and ran on Ordell. But aside from those two characters, there's plenty that are a little bit flippant. I can agree with Laz on that. Yeah.
Yeah, I would also have to agree. Watching the treatment of Bridget Fonda in this movie reminded me of Jennifer in Hateful Eight, and the treatment of that character. The moments where, oh God, he would randomly like hit her in the face.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, while Bridget Fonda's character wasn't being hit in the face randomly, there are moments like, especially towards the end, where Robert De Niro's character is like grabbing her and like pulling her along and threatening to hit her. Even the sex scene made me uncomfortable. And then the moment at the end of that character's life, when ultimately he just shoots her in the parking lot, all of it was very much, to me, I think, sending a message that this person is disposable. And there's something about it that was just very uncomfortable.
I will say, though, in Tarantino's defense, this is the only one of his films, to my knowledge, where all of the killings happen off screen. So, like, you don't see her character actually getting the bullet through the head and the blood and stuff, and you don't see Chris Tucker's character getting the bullet. It happens, like, you see the car hood open up and you know who's in there,
right,
but you don't actually see the body. So I appreciate that I'm not witness to it in this, at the very least.
Which I hear you and I agree with. I think, though, it's weird for me to criticize something on his body of work, but I find it to be a continuous thread for him as a filmmaker, where the female characters do come across disposable, or just, we see a lot of like female abuse.
Yes.
Like in his films, and we see a lot of these characters just be kind of victim to circumstance. And to me, it's like, okay, that may happen to a person from time to time. And yes, he has men murdered here and there, but I think because I've seen it so many times in his films, it would be nice to not see a film like Kill Bill where it's all style and no substance. Because this film does have substance, where where he treats female characters with a little bit of respect.
I definitely have to say, on the flip side, with the treatment of Jackie Brown, that was a very pleasant story to watch. I think a lot of this movie, in the way that I took it, was definitely a nod to blaxploitation films. Also, I do want to say, if blaxploitation is not the right wording that I should be using, someone please let me know. I think on one hand, blaxploitation films, there is the negative aspect of the stereotypes that were played up in those films in regards to the Black community. And then on the other hand, there's also this element of there being projects with an all-black cast, and that kind of being one of the first moments that we had projects with all-black casts, with the exception of Black Hollywood back in, oh God, 1930, maybe 1919. Someone date that for me, because I know that that's a real thing as well. But I saw Jackie Brown as kind of a nod to that era of films. I think definitely with the casting of Pam Grier, definitely with the naming of the character as being Jackie Brown instead of Foxy Brown.
Mm-hmm.
The choice in music from the 1970s, the soundtrack is, I love the 1970s. I love R&B from the 1970s. So the music is, I think, a nod to that time period. I think that Pam Grier's character in this movie, while there are some stereotypical elements in regards to people of color, in regards to black people, the cocaine references, the certain moments where you think that these characters are what some people would say street smart.
Mm-hmm.
To me, these characters are just smart. There's no street smart. I mean, especially Pam Grier. Pam Grier is just smart, especially in a world where she is surrounded by men trying to assert some kind of dominance in one way or another. Pam Grier outsmarts everybody, and she is running the show, and I love that.
Ordell had a point when he was talking about the cocaine that was found on Jackie when she got arrested. He had made a comment that small amount of cocaine on a celebrity, and they would be totally let go, no charges pressed. But on a black woman, forget it. They're going to throw the book at her and make an example. And that's exactly what they did. And I thought that was one of the few moments where I actually agreed with him. Film. I was like, yeah, he's right.
And I appreciated the honesty and the authenticity in telling the truth of those stakes for Jackie Brown's character, because they laid it all out. And I think it was a little bit like a laundry list, but I think that honestly, I liked it. They said you're black, you're a woman, you're 40 years old, and these are the things that are stacked against you. And I think that dialogue was a way of kind of saying to the audience as well, these are the things that are constantly stacked against women of color every day. And this movie was made a couple of decades ago.
It was the 90s, right?
90s, 97.
Over 20 years ago.
Yeah. And these stakes are still play a hand in the treatment of women of color. It's still a very real thing. So I appreciate the film and the dialogue for that kind of honesty.
So my rewrite is not going to be as poignant. Sorry. But so do you guys watch The Fifth Element? Have you guys seen The Fifth Element?
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, well, Chris Tucker in that just nails it. And as soon as he came on screen in this, I was like, oh my God, it's Chris Tucker. Oh my God. And he looks hot. Like he's the same age as he is in Fifth Element. I was like, oh my God, it's Chris Tucker. And he's gorgeous. And he's got his shirt off. And oh, how long is he in this movie? Woo! And then he ends up, he's Beaumont. And oh, poor Beaumont. He doesn't last too long in this film.
Yeah.
So if I was to have Tarantino redo this movie, I would have Beaumont survive and continue to walk around the rest of the movie with his shirt off, because oh, God bless him.
I will sip my Mike's Hard Lemonade to that. I will sip.
Girl.
And I do have to say, now I don't want to kink shame.
Lord.
I do not want to kink shame. The feet.
What?
The shots of the feet.
Whose feet?
Tarantino's thing. He's obsessed with feet.
Whose feet?
Bridget Fonda's feet.
Oh. I guess I didn't notice them much.
There's a close-up of the feet. Is it twice? Doesn't she use them to grab something?
It's pretty in your face.
It's the feet are in your face. I mean, look, I don't want to kink shame. Look, you like feet, do you? And the feet. I think in terms of the film, I mean, speaking seriously now, in terms of the film, I wasn't sure why the feet were necessary. Like what part, why was that there for the story?
I was still thinking about Chris Tucker's abs.
Honestly, yet again, with Tarantino, I find him to be a director that has to include like his laundry list of personal things and they always glare at me. Hate is one of them. Like it comes out of nowhere. It's super unnecessary to the story. It's a personal thing that he obviously likes. So sure, I'll say it for the first time on this. No kink shaming. So those who like feet. But it just it's unnecessary. It's let's say self-masturbatory of him to include it in nearly all of his films.
Yeah. It's like a director kake. If you want a director kake on my face, just I'd rather it be something that contributes to the story
Yeah.
instead of just being there for the sake of being there. Now, in fairness, we don't know Quentin Tarantino personally, so maybe there's a reason for the feat. I don't know.
I did notice there was one scene where they were in the surfer girl's apartment, Bridget Fonda's apartment, and she was having a conversation, I think, with Ordell, and I was concentrating on the beach behind them because there was like a random person riding a bike, and there was people like playing frisbee, and then in like the next scene that happened there, so fast forward through the movie, maybe like 20, 30 minutes, they're back at that apartment. And again, there's the beach and there's all those people playing stuff sort of behind the characters. And that is stuff that I notice, and it reminds me of, this is going to sound really weird, but East of Eden as a James Dean movie. And one of the things that the director of that movie had done is he really made it a point to populate the film with unique looking or interesting background characters. So in a lot of scenes in that film, you have these interesting characters that most of them have no lines, but they are doing things off the screen, making the world come more alive. And I happen to notice it in this film too, whether you're at the mall or you're at the beach house or where you're wherever. It's not just a static scene filmed like on a soundstage. It's like they're in real places that are living and existing, and it helps cement the world that you're in. And that is one thing I will say I appreciate about this film.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. I think the film as well with the locations. I don't know if it's a love letter to Los Angeles or Southern California, or if it was a budget thing, but the locations, I don't know, there's something about it that made it feel very home-like, being someone that lives in Southern California. Like, oh, the Del Amo Mall, like I've been there thousands of times, or Hermosa Beach, or the areas in downtown LA. I appreciated some of that stuff. So
Can you get me a bag?
Maybe.
I want one of those bags.
Maybe. I'll see what I can do. I mean, it's been 20 plus years now, so I'm sure the design has changed, but
I want one of those
I'll see what I can do. Okay, so moving on to standouts. What do we think about the standouts of this movie? Anything that we want to talk about that we haven't covered just yet?
So I think the performances overall, like we've been discussing, were like super standout. I don't think we've nearly mentioned just how stacked this cast is. I think Michael Keaton did a great job. I think Robert De Niro did a great job. Samuel Jackson, Pam Grier, like chef's kiss to the entire cast. I think the script for a Tarantino film was really well constructed. I give major credit to Elmore Leonard for that because it was, an adaptation of his work.
Yes.
So big shout out there. And then outside of that, I think the soundtrack is like super standout for me. I think it
Yes.
infuses the film with like essence. It gives it like a vibe that is otherwise kind of, a typical kind of movie, but it adds something. It adds some flavor to it.
It really does. It gives it a rhythm. It gives it a whole energy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like I've been doing for this one a lot of research outside of my own perspective because I've made it very clear how I feel about Tarantino. So I wanted to see other perspectives and hear other perspectives. And it was interesting. There was one person who was speaking about how this film has a rhythm that Tarantino typically doesn't have in his films. So
Mm.
either, with I would say Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction, there's like a frenetic energy to his films.
Hmm.
And then a lot of his later films can be very plotting and could be very slow and like ill-paced. Whereas
Hmm.
this one is one of his films that feels like it has, to your point, Matt, a rhythm to it. And I don't know if that's in part due to the soundtrack, but I would say that it is. And lastly, I'll just say Across 110th Street, it's like something that will stick in your brain after watching this film
Yes.
to like an annoying extent because I've been humming it all day. And big shout out again to the singer of that, Bobby Womack,
Oh yeah.
because again, Tarantino gets a lot of credit for highlighting these songs within his
Yeah.
films, but without those songs that were created by somebody else, his films would, I don't know, maybe not be as unique.
Laz, thank you for bringing that up about the pacing, and I agree 100%. It's like I feel that way. As exactly how you said. I can't even do it any better than how you said it about the frenetic energy his first few films, and then this one pretty much nailed it. I mean, it's a 2.5 hour movie
Yeah.
that goes by in the blink of an eye.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, it absolutely
it's
does.
perfect. And then I wouldn't cut anything out of this. And then you get to some of his later films, and they tend to be a little bit more masturbatory. I can't even say it now.
Director Kake.
Yeah. With Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, it's a beautiful looking film, and there's great nods to past cinema, and I like it for its artistry and sort of the recreation of some of these old films and old scenes. I like stuff like that. I'm a nerd. I'm a cinema nerd. So for me, those are fun, but the movie really doesn't get cooking until that last 30 minutes. And it's a long haul to get there.
Which
So,
is why I kind of bring
yeah.
up, through the lens, like I just said, of soundtrack.
Hmm.
I often question when I watch a Tarantino film, what is it that makes it great? And a lot of
Mhm.
times it either feels like a recreation of something that I already love that's been done, or it's the music, or like things that are external to him as a visionary. Because when he starts to go into his own stuff, it doesn't work for me personally. Listeners out there who love Tarantino, you can come at me, not the rest of the folks, but I think we could have a healthy conversation on the merits of that.
And I think that there's something to say about, obviously, our writers are very important, and also supporting the writer strike right now, as well. Just want to do a shout out to that, but also in terms of how important and essential music is
Mm.
to a
Hmm.
project and helping to tell that story and push that story forward. I think for me, I I love Pam Grier's character. I love the wit and the presence that she has throughout this entire film. There is a power that she has. And I think that's just a testament to Pam Grier's performance. There's a power that she
Yeah.
walks in with every scene that is just undeniable.
She's bringing the weight of her life to this
Hmm.
Oh my
picture,
God,
as though
yes.
this is the final picture she'll ever make in her life, and this is her, the cherry on the cake. Like she is Jackie Brown.
The stakes are high. Yes. The song Street Life, which is probably my favorite. I like 110th Street, but Street Life is probably my favorite. I think Street Life is the inner monologue of Jackie Brown throughout the movie. Another mention that I wanted to give out is Denise Crosby. We love you, Miss Crosby. So happy to see
Oh
you
yeah,
in the courtroom.
Tasha Yar.
I was
I
like,
have to
oh
jump in
my God.
here
Please
because
jump in.
Tasha Yar is my favorite Star Trek character ever.
Were you
Like
surprised to see her?
I've been saying this for eons. I'm always pleasantly happy when I see her on screen. She's uncredited in this film, by the way,
What?
which is a travesty.
Okay, that's very interesting because just a little bit more. I know I'm bouncing to the trivia for a quick minute, but Quentin Tarantino, listeners, some of you know this. He's a Star Trek fan. He's a Next Gen fan.
Yeah.
And back in the day, I want to say about 10 years ago, he was talking about what he would do for a movie. And one of his ideas was to revisit yesterday's Enterprise and tell that story. And so it's interesting that Denise Crosby got cast in this movie and was uncredited. I don't know why that happened, but I do think, in regards to his love for yesterday's Enterprise, and then to see Denise Crosby cast in this project, I think that's just a testament.
I have two standouts I just got to throw out before we move on to trivia. I think that the script was beautifully written. I love the dialogue in this movie. I thought it was beautiful. And the twists and turns of this film were anything but predictable. Every time I watch it, even though I've seen it a dozen times, I'm on the edge of my seat still, like, oh, what's going to happen here? What's going to happen here? And I know what's going to happen. I've already seen it. But it's written that well. And also, I don't know who came up with the name, but having Max Cherry, having his name be Max Cherry, so his bail bonds office is Cherry Bonds. I was like, that name is perfect, and it's got that big red dot on it. All I can think about is Cherry Bomb, and I'm like, yeah, it's Cherry Bonds.
Yeah,
it's so tongue-in-cheek and cute, and I love it.
One last thing that I thought about. So there is a moment at the very end of the movie where 110th Street is playing, Jackie Brown's in a car, and maybe it's because of, I don't know, the resolution on my screen, but it seemed like Jackie Brown was tearing up a little bit while she was driving in her car. And that makes me think of a moment with Uma Thurman's character in Kill Bill at the very end of Volume 2 of Kill Bill, where she's in her bathroom after going through all of these things that she's gone through Volume 1 and Volume 2, and she's crying in the bathroom on the floor. I assume because she's just happy with the way that her life is now, and there's an emotional release now. And I thought that mirrored Uma Thurman's scene in Kill Bill Volume 2. So I appreciated that moment. Trivia?
So Tarantino was worried Leonard would hate the script. So this is the writer of the original book this was adapted of. Tarantino made some significant changes to Leonard's material, most notably changing the title from Rum Punch, making Jackie's last name Brown instead of Burke, an obvious homage to Pam Grier's Foxy Brown character, and changing Jackie's race from white to black.
Grier and Tarantino were destined to work together. Speaking of Pam Grier, Tarantino had long been a fan of her work and recruited her to audition for the role of Jody, Eric Schultz's wife, in Pulp Fiction. Grier auditioned, but Tarantino was convinced there was no way that Stultz, who had already been cast, was going to tell Pam Grier to shut up. I think that's a very good observation.
Have you seen Eric Stoltz? He's like this gangly ginger dude, and he was actually originally cast in Back to the Future, and they had filmed the first part of Back to the Future with him before Michael J. Fox. Another trivia. Anyway, I love this. Actually, I'm so glad I got this trivia. Ordell's look in the film was concocted by Samuel L. Jackson, so he just showed up that way. That was, Tarantino said, that was all Sam's idea. Ordell Robbie, the whole thing with the long hair and the goatee, the whole kind of samurai, mad kung fu priest on the mountain look he had. Sam came up with that, and it was just terrific. It just made it. And I agree. Like, it was so wackadoo, but somehow worked.
It was so weird. Like, he had the whole weave. He had the press. Mm-hmm. His hair was all pressed out, shoulder length. Yeah. Okay. Like, I'll go with it. Okay. Okay, Sammy.
He's an incredible dude.
Yes.
Peter Fonda makes an appearance in the film during a scene where Louis, Robert De Niro, and Melanie, Bridget Fonda, are watching television at her apartment. They are watching the film Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry. The film stars Peter Fonda, Bridget's father.
Sylvester Stallone turned down the role that went to Robert De Niro. That's crazy.
I know. I'm glad he wasn't in it, though. Robert De Niro is so much better. Michael Keaton tried to talk Quentin Tarantino out of casting him. That's crazy.
I mean, I would love to know that story. I've never known. Well, no, there are a few times I've heard stories of actors being like, "Please don't put me in this."
But he was
Just from-
perfect for it.
He was so good. He was so good.
But he's good in
know.
everything. Come on.
Yeah.
I don't know. As an actor, I wouldn't do that. But I'm in a different place than these people, so.
So this has the lowest body count and age rating of any Tarantino movie. There are a grand total of 4 deaths in the film, but none of them are graphically shown on camera. Technically, this is the same body count as Tarantino's 2019 film Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but those death scenes are considerably more gruesome.
And funny. They're funny. With the blowtorch, I laughed right out loud in the theater. It shocked me into laughing. Anyway.
We laugh out of, discomfort.
Yes, that's 100% what it was.
That's why everyone laughs watching The Exorcist.
The pea soup. The pea soup.
The film's soundtrack features a 1971 song performed by a young Pam Grier in the scene when Jackie is in jail. We hear a song entitled Long Time Woman. It's a very fitting musical choice, not least, and it's performed by Pam Grier herself. The song was originally recorded for use over the opening titles of Grier's first movie. The movie was The Big Doll House. It takes place in 1971 with women in prison.
I love this. The bag really did contain $500,000 in cash. So that's not a prop. That's all real money. The film's crew literally filled the bag with $500,000 in real cash. Like, for real. Wow. Why? I don't know. But great.
I don't know. I
Could.
love that they... Yes, exactly. I love that they had that just magically in their bank accounts. That is a gift and a joy. I would have been like, I have 50 cents to put in.
There's a lot of people who could use that just money being thrown around for this film. Jackie's car was also driven by Bruce Willis in Pulp Fiction. It's hard to believe the same car was still usable, considering how badly trashed it gets in Pulp Fiction. As viewers may recall, Butch runs over Marcellus Wallace, Ving Rhames, in the car before crashing and totaling it. With Pam Grier's Jackie behind the wheel, the Civic isn't put through its paces quite so heavily.
That's crazy, yeah, because they messed that car right up.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe that one, but...
Well, they probably this is my thought, is when they have cars in films, usually they have like 3 of them, and a couple of them are stunt cars, so they're probably talking about like the
I believe it
stunt
was the
cars.
same like make and model, but like not the same one. Because then it would cost $500,000 to fix it.
Well, they had it in that shopping mall bag.
See what I did there?
So, on that note, any final thoughts on this film?
And we're going to give out bags of cash.
I would like to give out 4 out of 5 bags of cash.
Why?
Oh, okay. And the why? The why I would give 4 out of 5 bags of cash. I think for several reasons. I think it was as we have all been saying, in terms of artists kind of being pushed beyond their comfort zone. I appreciate this film for being something that Quentin Tarantino did out of his comfort zone and creating something great. And at the end of the day, him being pleased with that. I love those stories, and I think that the result definitely manifests itself in this film. I think just for Pam Grier, I'm just crazy about Pam Grier in this movie. So for that as well, I give it 4 out of 5. I also think that with Pam Grier, with the characters that she played, playing Foxy Brown in the 1970s, I know that there is some negative viewpoints to those films of that time period, but I have so much respect for her for still playing those characters to push the bar forward for people of color, for women. And I also think that this movie in particular kind of
elevates it, maybe corrects it, maybe adds more depth a little bit, again, because she's not street smart. She's just
smart. And I appreciate this movie for showing that.
I want to give it, and this is going to be the first time on this podcast, I'm going to give it 4.5 bags of cash. I'm going to give an extra half a point. I actually feel like I should probably give it 5, but that's a pretty high bar. So I want to hang on to that last 500,000. So we're gonna save that for some. I don't know what, but we'll save that one. But I will give it my highest score yet, and it was 4.5 bags of cash. There's so many reasons. The opening scene, there's never been opening credits that have stuck with me like the opening credits of this movie. It sets up the entire film because you're like, her legs aren't moving. What's happening? Where is she? What's going on? And it's that great music. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait, no, she's a flight attendant. Wait, oh, she's at an airport. Okay, she's going somewhere. And it really starts the ball rolling, asking you those questions. What is happening? And you start wanting to fill in the blanks of the picture. As the opening credits are starting to roll, you're already invested in like, okay, what is going on here? This is so different. And so I love that. As again, the soundtrack's fantastic, the writing's fantastic, the acting, the cast that they got, it really does deserve 5 bags. But I'll stay with 4.5 or 4.75. I don't know.
0.75. Saving that 15.
What is wrong with me? Anyway, I'm done. Take the cash.
I would give this film, I'm going to give it 3 out of 5 bags of cash. I think if you are interested and have not seen a Tarantino film, this is the one I would recommend you watch first to kind of whet your appetite and kind of see where things go for you as a viewer from there. I applaud the soundtrack, I applaud the performances, and I applaud, I think, the narrative structure. Where I think it gets dinged a lot is, again, the treatment of women within that narrative, outside of Pam Grier's Jackie Brown. I also find that a lot of Tarantinoisms are on display here that distract ultimately from a interesting story.
I think that my high rating and your low rating evened it out.
That's exactly what I tried to do. I was going to give it lower, but that wouldn't be fair to the rest of the production.
Bless
and
you.
I just want to put in a correction because I said that Mark was saving that 15 when he gave it 4.75 when actually 25 plus 4.75 that's 5. Sorry, Amy. Again, I did cheat on my high school math final. So
yeah, our associate producer she's got a calculator out. She probably did it in her head.
Yeah, she's like, nope, that's not it at all. That's not acceptable.
Whiz.
Sorry, Amy.
We love you, Amy.
What shows are on BQN, you ask? Well, here's a rundown of some podcasts you might be interested in. All Good Things, a Star Trek Universe podcast covering all of Trek, hosted by Amy, Mark, Christos, and Kelvin. Bargain Bin Gamer, a YouTube show hosted by Davey, a self-proclaimed gamer who specializes in reviewing and showcasing affordable video games. If you're lost in the Delta Quadrant, check out The Captain's Couch, a Star Trek Voyager podcast hosted by Jeremiah sitting on Janeway's Ready Room couch. Cinema Z, a film discussion and review podcast showcasing films you probably missed but should definitely check out, hosted by Mark, Matt, and Laz. Beam Aboard the Galaxy Class, a Star Trek Next Generation podcast covering all of TNG, hosted by Amy, Joe, Rhea, and Kevin. History with the Szilagys, a snippet of historical events from around the world, hosted by Chrissy and Jason. For the newest Trek coverage, check out Infinite Diversity, hosted by Chrissy and Thad. Test your Trek knowledge with Treksperts Quiz, a Star Trek quiz show hosted and written by Davey. Union Federation, covering all things Star Trek and the Orville, which we all know is really a Star Trek show, hosted by Kyle, Kevin, Amy, and Haley. Spill the Tea with What's the Tea, Bev, a Trek current events and fan interview show hosted by Christos. And for our Patreon members, we have The Hive Mind, BQN's monthly roundtable discussion with hosts and listeners. It's Green, a cornucopia of topics hosted by Mark. And Amy's Math Moments, a quick look at math moments in Star Trek, hosted by Amy. We know you have a choice of podcasts to choose from, and we thank you for listening to BQN. Assimilate the audio.
Well, you guys, next week is my pick again, and I'm detecting a theme because this is also a jungly movie. So, my next pick is called Tigerland. Now, Tigerland is a film that came out in 2000. It's an American war drama film directed by Joel Schumacher and starring Colin Farrell. It takes place in a training camp for soldiers being sent to Vietnam. There's a cool synopsis I got online. Says, a nation stands divided over the escalating war in Vietnam. Thousands of young Americans lie dead on foreign soil. And at Fort Polk, Louisiana, thousands more prepare to join them. The specter of combat hangs over the men of A Company, 2nd Platoon, as they enter the final stage of infantry training. They will be sent to the war. But each man deals with the prospect in his own way. One man's defiance, however, galvanizes every member of the platoon. I love that we've seen a different movie every time. We keep pivoting to a really different genre, doing different things, different taste levels, different, whatever. They've all been very unique. Each week we've had a movie we've discussed that we've been passionate about. I don't know if you guys are going to like this one or not. I know that for me, personally, it's special, and I find a lot of special moments in the movie. One of the things I love about it is that it's the only war movie I think I've seen that doesn't focus on the war. It focuses on the individual stories of the lives of the soldiers. And it's very special and beautiful. And I hope our listeners will watch it even though it's Joel Schumacher and even though it's Colin Farrell. Because, you know what? I happen to really like Colin Farrell. And I'm okay with Joel Schumacher. But it's a great film.
I think we're definitely excited to hear your perspective on it, and I haven't seen this one, so I look forward to watching it, even though Joel Schumacher may not have the best track record. Batman.
Oh, you brought it up.
I just, if I start, I have a feeling we're all going to keep going, so we'll save it for another time. But I think, yeah.
So we would love to hear what you thought of today's episode and hope you'll join our Facebook group, the BQN Collective, to continue our discussion there. You can also tweet your thoughts at CinemaZPod and let us know if you'd like to recommend a film. Please follow the network on Twitter and Instagram at BQN Podcasts.
So, Mark, where can people find you when you're not guzzling down rum punches?
Oh, man, there's not a lot of time where I'm not doing that. I call that going to church. When I'm not doing that, I'm probably podcasting Star Trek with Amy over at All Good Things. You can also find me on the Facebook group, BQN Collective. And if you become a patron of the network on Patreon, I host a show, It's Green. That's a lot of fun. I have different guests on each time, and it's kind of an interview podcast. And Laz, where can people find you when you are not shooting Beaumont in the back of your trunk?
I'm so sorry for that. When I'm not doing that, I'm not proud of it. You can find me at www.lasmarquez.com to see some of my work within the entertainment industry. You can also reach out to me and start a discussion on the social medias at Laz Marquez, LazMarquez. And Matt, where can people find you when you're not doing aerobics to Across 110th Street?
When am I not doing aerobics to Across 110th Street? You can find me on Instagram at 1701BLERT. You can also find me on TikTok on at 1701 underscore BLERDS underscore TORY. So, everyone around the BQN world and outside of it, please hit the subscribe button on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts and leave us a star rating and written review. That helps others to find the show. You can also follow the entire network's podcast with our master feed by searching BQN.
At this time, we'd like to thank our associate producer, Amy Nelson, and a special thanks to our lovely Laz Marquez for our artwork each and every week. If you haven't seen his website, please go to his website because he has some gorgeous works of art there, totally worth checking out.
Absolutely, please.
Also, the opening and closing music for this podcast is titled Dancing Dead and was provided by Ketza from the Free Music Archive, providing royalty-free music for content creators.
If you'd like to help us keep all our shows coming to you each week, you can become a patron of the network on Patreon. We will add you to the Hive Mind Facebook group so you can enjoy It's Green, Amy's Math Moments, and other network perks. With a monthly subscription of $5 or more, you can join our meetings on the Hive Mind Roundtable discussion on the second Saturday of each month. Visit patreon.com/BQN to get all the details and watch your messages.
Thank you for listening.
We hope you'll tune in next time.
And I'll see you on 110th Street.
Oh, perfect. Love it.
Street life, but you better not get old. Street life, or you're gonna feel the cold. Prince Charming always smiles behind a silver spoon. And if you keep it young, your song is always sung. Your love will pay your way beneath the silver moon. Street life, street life. Street life.